Breaking tonight, more evidence that there is no room for moderates in the Democratic Party, a Democratic Party run by the likes of far-left socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. In remarks behind closed doors on Capitol Hill, Ms. AOC reportedly threatening to put her Democratic colleagues voting with Republicans, quote, on a list for a primary challenge. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi piling on the pressure, warning her caucus they better get on board. Pelosi saying, quote, we are either a team or we're not. Joining me right now to weigh in, Trump 2020 Advisory Board member Madison Jesse Otto and Democratic strategist Kevin Chavis. Good to see you both. Madison, what's this about? Because, you know, I get that people want to stick together and they want to have their teams, but increasingly nowadays in Washington, it's more about politics than it is about patriotism. And when you got people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and other socialists that want to drive the country increasingly left, what kind of dangerous spot does that put the Democratic Party and thus America in?
You know, people like Representative Ocasio-Cortez could potentially be the end of the Democratic Party as we know it. It's very concerning. She's driving a wedge between not only Republicans and Democrats, but between Democrats themselves. It's disappointing to see what's going on because the people of this country, both Republicans and Democrats, we want unity. We want to see people coming together. We want to see compromise. We want to see results. And I think that she has this false sense of authority and power, thinking that we work for her, when in reality, she works for the American people. She works for the people of New York in District 14. And so it's very, very frustrating, I think, for people of that district who do support, when you look at this legislative amendment, expanded background checks, which were now pushed away because people like her are, you know, going against it for the simple fact that it had something in there that said illegal immigrants, you know, if they apply or try to get a gun, then ICE must be notified. So they claim that these expanded background checks would work, but they're going to go against it to protect the non-existent right of illegal immigrants to buy guns.
I mean,
in
I
this
think
country.
her priorities are what you call really whacked, Kevin, because this is a woman, by the way, who said, I don't care about a major company willing to offer all kinds of big jobs here in my district. I don't care. I don't want them. I don't want them. She's turning away business because she would rather tax and spend, and somehow in her head thinks that she can come up with these government jobs instead of the ones that Amazon was willing to provide her community with. You couple that with the rest of it, and I would imagine as a Democrat, you might be starting to get concerned. Am I right?
Well, I would not say concerned. I appreciate you having me on. But look, I support what Ocasio-Cortez has done so far. In just a short month, she's already been able to wield great influence over the Democratic Party.
You really want her having the influence, though, Kevin? Really?
Well,
I mean, she's a socialist.
I think that her passion and her energy has been infectious and has really generated a lot of enthusiasm about the Democratic platform.
Isn't it going to just make it harder for you guys, though? I mean, if you want to actually put forward a candidate who's got any shot at winning, hey, listen, by the way, I think it's music to Madison's ears that you guys are screwing up so badly by putting the likes of this one out there, AOC, because you know what? It divides your party. Divide and conquer, right? So it makes it that much harder for you guys to see any success in 2020. Doesn't that concern you?
Well, I would disagree that it divides the party. I would say that this speech she gave behind closed doors was more of a pep talk. I mean, there's a reason she had the floor. It's clear that she's become a leader in just 1 month. I mean, look at the coverage she gets all over media, including this network, other networks. It's clear that she has a magnetism about her that people are talking about. And I think that she'll learn on the job that, hey, it may be easier for her and her district to vote consistently for far left, more progressive policies than it is for, say, someone in New Mexico that's in a swing district. And she'll learn those things as she goes along. But I
You're
support
gonna have little hiccups along the way, though. You support her overall. I get it. All right, you got the party line. Madison, is this music to your ears? In other words, as you look at a party that's increasingly fragmented and is increasingly, even if, let's say she gets her way, right? And she actually succeeds in bullying everyone, threatening to put them on some kind of list for a challenger from the far left. So she bullies everyone, she gets her way. You then are left with a party that's so far left. I think that it's going to be so far out of step with where mainstream America is. And that's good news for you.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to 2020, this is great news. When it comes to the future of our country, I don't think this is really good news. We don't want to see people like this in positions of power. Yes, she has a lot of energy, and that is infectious. I think that's fabulous. I think it's great that she's a young woman in a position of power, but at the same time, I want her to be someone pushing for real results, and she's not doing that. She's putting forth these ideas that would be extremely detrimental to our country, extremely detrimental to the Democratic Party. And when we talk about Democrats specifically, when we talk about the heart of where democracy is in this country, it isn't with her. Yeah. It's with the moderate Democrats. And I think that's the point that she's missing.
No, I mean,
here,
I've always said Joe Biden would have been a much tougher candidate to beat than Hillary Clinton. Yes. And if he can consistently sort of keep that middle-of-the-road platform, the Dems might actually have a shot at putting up some kind of challenge in 2020. But I'll tell you, Kevin, I'm just giving you my advice right now. And this comes from just wanting to see a fair and even playing field and what's best for the country. And that is not to move in a direction that is so far left, because that is not where America is. It's not where America ever was, and it is not what America will ever be there. Leaving it there. Madison, Kevin, thank you so much.
We live in a really nightmare. We live in a really nightmare.